Growing up, was there? I asked this question because me and my brother always had competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean like really competitions. So
Yes.
seriously,
Over basketball.
give us the story. I want to hear it.
I was the older brother, so I was always the bigger one. I was winning most of the competitions growing up, and I was a junior in high school. Trav was a freshman, and he had just gotten to be taller than me. He was always more athletic, but I was ahead of him, so he had just hit puberty.
So he was feeling himself.
He's feeling himself, and I'm getting pissed off that he's feeling himself.
Right.
We're out in the backyard, and he starts just driving and doing this stupid little hook shot over like his shoulder. It wasn't a hook shot, but like a driving like little, whatever that's called. And he is making it every single time, and I can't do anything to stop it. So of course I resort to fouling him. The only way I know how to stop it. And he says, "That's bullshit, that's a foul." And I'm like, "I don't see any refs out here. I don't see anybody calling it." He picks the ball up, throws it at me, goes in the house. I'm like, "This mother, you just throw this ball at me?" So I go in there, I grab him on the shoulder, and I punch him. And listen, we would fight all the time. This is the second time I'd ever punched him. I don't know how I got that heated. Punched him in the face, and every time before that, in the face.
Damn.
And every time before that, he would cry or whatever. He took this punch, scooped me up off my feet, and slammed me on the kitchen floor so hard the oven got knocked off the rack, like what it was sitting on the tracks.
Yeah.
I get up, we're in a full-on fist fight.
Wow.
Dad comes behind me to break it up, grabs me. Travis pushes me back on top of Dad, and the only thing that stopped the fight was my dad screaming, "Ah, my ribs!" And we thought that we had hurt him, so we snapped out of it. But that's the last time we ever got in a fight.
Really?
Last fight we've ever been in. We were competitive in everything, and he was. You always knew at every level he was another level of athlete. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say something that people don't understand. You see those moments that he's talking about? That's what made me who I am. And it only takes.
I was going to say, he has a hard time reasoning with people because he was raised in a home where like bull is not accepted and suck it up. And I can tell that you were raised in a similar situation.
Oh, for sure.
This story right here, you see my eyes? That's a beautiful.
You were like
thing.
reminiscing.
Because right now you got Earthling saying they shouldn't have did that, but look at who they are.
Yeah.
Pro Bowler. Brothers in the what? Fourth Super Bowl?
Fourth Super Bowl in 5 years.
Yeah.
Things that you go through toughen you up. Like, everybody thinks the locker room is supposed to be like this. I don't want a bunch of guys like this in my locker room. I want some guys in my locker room. So that's a beautiful story.
Ooh, thanks. So I think it was either Aristotle or Mike.
Want to start off?
I got the one. I'm good.
I think it was either Aristotle or Mike Jones who said back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that you got ignored for a lot of your career by a lot of different things and people. And I think they've all come forward. And I was curious what that experience is like.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
You're not really asked to come to Super Bowl Radio Row as a center.
Oh, yeah, now it's a little bit different, yeah.
You're not asked to work with brands as a center.
I don't hold any grudges like that. I mean, you got to earn it. You got to, as a young offensive lineman who hadn't done anything yet, why would anybody want to have me do anything like that, right? So I'm very prideful of where I have come and how far I've come, right? And you just talked about offensive linemen. There's not a lot of offensive linemen that get notoriety at all.
At all.
So for me to represent a group that largely, they put a lot of work in for not a lot of attention. We're at a time where offensive linemen, some of them have the best personalities in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And podcasting, all the media now, it allows these guys to show that. And I think it'll be really good for that position group.
And did your brother start off as a lineman? Because my question is, how did he get to be the great tight end that he is?
He started out at quarterback, that's why.
Quarterback.
And he played basketball. Most of the best football players I know played basketball,
so
especially tight ends.
You know what
Tony
Shaq's
Gonzalez,
position was?
Say that again, especially what?
Especially tight ends.
Because I played football in high school, not as my level, but I was a tight end, and we had a play called alley-oop.
Yeah.
10 to the yard side. I actually told my
and Mike has sat here and said, you would have been a tackle. You're not a good enough mover.
I have never understood why NFL teams don't just have somebody who's 7 foot for red zone situations, just throw the ball to
This
him.
is exactly
How do you defend it?
Two-part question. I know the love you have for your brother, and people should love their brother.
Yeah.
You have one, he has three. Has he ever tried to big boy you?
He's
Playfully,
two.
of
He
course.
has two.
Well, he's
Yes,
going
he has
for
two.
three.
he's foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, has he ever tried to like big boy you? Playfully?
In
and
Campbell's
I think-
soup
respectfully.
commercials, he has.
I think if I ever tried to, like, rib him, I think he would do it. But I think
I mean, again,
he's
it's all love.
already so ahead of me. Like what he's gonna flash his rings, then he's gonna show his stats, then he's gonna he's got more Pro Bowls, All Pros.
He's like, by the way, I'm the most famous person.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna go down in history as probably. I mean, no offense to all the other tight ends and Tony and Gronk. I mean, he's up there for the greatest ever. I've been very good at center. I don't think that I am in the conversation for greatest center ever. And it's a different position too, where you can name.
That's not for you to say. I'm not saying you are. Fuck all that you're talking about right now. I'm saying you are. You're great.
All right, I
Yes,
appreciate
I'm
it.
that.
Well, you're actually part of like the offensive lineman era where there are analytics where you can actually
I've
compare.
been very lucky. No, seriously.
No, I need you.
Loves analytics.
No, I'm an Eagles fan, and he is capable of doing things that other centers from other eras are not capable
And
of.
that's why I say he's a legend.
He had a faster 10-yard split than most running backs. Like I used to watch footage of him outrunning running backs down the field.
What's the 10-yard split?
So when you run the 40-yard dash, the 10 yards, the first 10 really show how explosive you are. Like yours would have been awful.
Long strides.
But it is crazy to think about Travis's career where like he was with Alex Smith. He was a really, really good tight end. And now Tony
Well, Pat's-
Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, Kellen Winslow, like he's passed? Wow. All right, I'm going to try some of the big chicken with this.
Over here?
Hellman's.
Hellman's.
Help me.
I think there's a business partnership here. So I've seen Shaq recently get a lot of people involved in Reebok.
Reebok. When I first came into the NFL, that was the
jersey.
That was the primary NFL sponsor.
I believe.
And Adidas bought us out, moved us out the way, but we're coming back.
So here's my idea.
Yes.
One of the highest selling shoes for every sneaker company is the dad shoe. But I don't think any shoe has officially marketed themselves as the dad shoe.
They're just known as it, yeah.
And I think Jason Kelce could be the face of the dad shoe.
If you need something, I mean, listen,
Like it.
Do you like this idea?
I love it.
I love it too.
1% is all I ask. But I think you'd be
Or
great.
mission for me. Putting the deal together.
1%.
You know me, I don't try to win the deals. I just want to be a part of it.
Facility.
So here's my idea.
Yes.
One of the highest selling shoes for every sneaker company is the dad shoe. But I don't think any shoe has officially marketed themselves as the dad shoe.
They're just known as it, yeah.
And I think Jason Kelce could be the face of the dad shoe.
If you need something, I mean, listen,
Like it.
Do you like this idea?
I love it.
I love it too.
1% is all I ask. But I think you'd be
Or
great.
mission for me. Putting the deal together.
1%.
You know me, I don't try to win the deals. I just want to be a part of it.
Facilitating.
Yeah.
I don't even get 1%.
No aside, the materials were better when Reebok was there. I mean,
Really?
Listen, I think Nike was phenomenal. They have started to go very cheap.
Interesting.
And I wear Nike cleats that they stopped making 10 years ago. I don't wear any of their new Nike cleats. The jerseys, listen, I respect Nike as a brand.
Yeah.
Reebok, everything was better, I think.